Hello, my 5D new human friends. This podcast goes out to you. This is for the 5D new human. Are you a 5D new human? You know it. Breathe it in. You know that you're alive. You know that you're a human being. You know that life pulses through you. That's the 5D new human. We realize that we're alive. 5D new human and the 5D perception is we're seeing more. We're seeing through things. We're seeing around things. We're seeing patterns. We're understanding more. We see the world around us as vibrations, as vibrational frequencies. As you listen to this podcast, realize that I am only talking about 5D perception of the new human. This is not attached to anything specific. This is only attached to frequencies, the 5D new human frequency. So let's start with understanding what that means, right? So we start by recognizing 5D frequency is our heart beating. Take a deep breath and you feel your heart pulsing. That is your life force. And when you totally feel this frequency, you notice this beating in your chest and you sit quietly with that alone. And you stop all thought processes and you stop trying to figure everything out. You stop searching and seeking and you just feel this love and light frequency in your chest. It feels like peace. You'll feel nothing. Maybe you'll feel amazing bliss. Because so many of us have been tormented, right? By frequencies that are all around us. Frequencies of what? Frequencies of protests. Frequencies of authoritarianism. Frequencies of AI overtaking our jobs. Frequencies of fear. Frequencies of worry. The 5D new human, where we're at right now, we've kind of reached a new dimension, right? And this podcast is going to be moving more in the direction of communicating to 5D new humans. We're discovering that we can sense around us what's happening in all dimensions of life. And I say all dimensions of life. What is all dimensions of life? What is your life made up of? Right? So we've got our family. We've got our neighbors. We've got our politics. We've got our religions, right? We've got our favorite sports teams. We've got our favorite schooling systems. We've got our favorite hobbies. All of these things that make up our reality, right? We interact in all of these different frequency fields of our life. So if you're into football and you play football and you're a serious football player, you have a certain frequency that you bring to the game of football. That frequency and that intensity that you resonate with when you're playing the game and you're committed to playing the game with your teammates and you're resonating in the frequency of victory or the frequency of determination. You resonate in a frequency. That same frequency, right, that you find, the same heart vibrational frequency that can resonate with that, can also resonate with football, with your kid. Maybe you're watching a football game and they're rooting for their favorite team, right? That intensity, that frequency that you would bring to your game, call it your game face, is a frequency. It's not the same game face frequency that you bring to your family. Those are frequencies. There is an entire frequency of NFL football in America, right? Or football in general in America. Football is a cultural phenomenon in America. Every high school, most high schools have football teams, right? We look forward to our Thanksgiving Day games. There's a frequency around football, right? Kids want to play it. We want to watch it. One of the big transitions, we go from high school to college. And I'll tell you, college ball is probably more prolific and more frequency intense than the NFL. It's all part of the game. There's a frequency of football that's American. Tied into the frequency of American football is injuries, right? And brain injuries. And is this something we should be doing? And all these frequencies that potentially could be interpreted as negative or wrong. Are they? Right? And, you know, if you had a child who had a spinal injury playing football, your attitude about that portion of the game may be different than the person who was a Super Bowl champion at Tom Brady. Understand that I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about the frequency of football. There's a frequency that we bring to being a player. There's a frequency that we bring to going to the game. There's a frequency that we bring to our high school team. There's a frequency that we bring to our college game. There's a frequency that we bring to tailgating, right? All of these frequencies and all of these energies that flow in each and every one of these elements of football, we can call them the dimensions in football. So you can be a player, you can be an offensive player, you can be a defensive player, you can become a coach so you figure out the games, you're planning all the plays. There's a frequency of football, right? So where do we put our attention as a frequency? Where do we want to put our attention in the frequency field of football? Well, if we want to be a coach, we're going to study coaching. We're going to study plays. We're going to watch films. We're going to understand the mechanics of the game. Maybe you're into fitness and you want to deal with physical therapists and how to heal the body after they go through the trauma of football, right? And we put our attention by focusing our attention on one specific aspect of the frequency field of football, and we become an expert in that. Those are frequencies. 5D New Humans, we're zoomed out on the entire NFL thing. So we can resonate with a winning team. We can resonate with the losing team. We can resonate with the injured. We can resonate with the play calls. We can resonate with the management of the game on the field. As it's played, there's rules that are followed, right? And the more that we engage and the more that we become aware of the NFL and we become aware of football, the more coherent we are, the less confused we are. In our world, it's the same way. Our world is a screen that's being played, and we can all see the screen, and we can all resonate in the screen in seeing what's taking place on our planet. What determines what we manifest in our own experience? What we focus on. Focusing on sports, focusing on NFLs, focusing on football. Which aspect of football do I want to focus on? And maybe you're a mom who wants to stop football altogether. You want to start getting kids together to boycott football. I laugh at that because for me that feels very dense and very constricted, and hopefully that feels that way to you too. But as a 5D New Human, they're just frequencies, right? So, by the way, I just popped back to the 3D world when I told you about my experience and laughing at somebody who feels they want to stop football because it's something that, you know, you're not going to stop football any more than you're going to stop the sun from rising. Maybe if that was your full dedicated purpose and you had billions of dollars and lots of influence, you may be able to pull that off over 10 years or 15 years. But the reality is 5D New Humans, we're just watching it all. And we're kind of reaching a point now where the craziness right now is no longer there. 5D New Humans, our lights are on. Boom, we're just seeing it all. So we're seeing how everything is improving. We're seeing how all of the activities in the world are actually being exposed. All of the problems are coming to light. All of the manipulations and all of the fraud and all of the crony capitalism and the abuses that have been taking place by those in power who want to hold power, who want to hold us down, those are all coming free. And collectively, 5D New Human. And I'm talking to you as a 5D New Human because we are the first wave of those people who are putting our lights on. We are shining our lights on the earth around us. We're shining our lights on what's happening in Minnesota, what's happening in America, what's happening in Canada, what's happening in China, what's happening in wherever. Wherever there is change happening, which is everywhere, rather than trying to get involved and fix the change, 5D New Humans, we just watch. We just watch. And when we're all watching and we're all putting our lights on, everything is becoming clear. And where we end up putting our focus is when all the lights are on, we all of a sudden see ourselves from the bright light, we see shadows in our own experience. Because the lights are showing some deficiency within me, some deficiency within my own thinking or through my own thoughts. That's where we work. That's where we focus our attention. Right? That becomes our dimension of attention, so that we can bring our love and light into our own darknesses and into our own deficiencies and fix ourselves. We're all doing that. We're all doing that. And we're the first wave of those doing that. And we've been searching and fighting and struggling. And now all of a sudden, boom, we've passed through this frequency phase of realizing that the earth has changed. The world, the frequencies of the world have changed. Notice the frequencies have changed. You'll see those who are still stuck in their frequency and they're still battling for their side because they're a social justice warrior, or they're a religious person who believes that somehow they're responsible for fixing the world. But when you let go and you come to 5D, you realize that everything is coming together. Everything is falling apart. Everything is breaking free. Everything is healing itself. The world is improving. Your world is improving. And so you just take the deep breath and you find this inner peace and frequency within you, and you realize that that inner peace and frequency, that is the 5D New Human perception. Find this frequency, and we live in this frequency. We feel this frequency around us. We bring this love and light frequency into all of our get-togethers, into all of our family gatherings, into whatever social circles we go to. We vibrate in this love and light frequency. And maybe within your love and light frequency, you want to be challenged. So we have football, right? We have, I don't even know what they call it, cage fighting. Like there are outlets to be in love and light, to do what it is that you love to do, right? And bring the frequency of feeling satisfied and enjoying your love and light experience. And you resonate with those who resonate in those frequencies with you. And as we're all putting our lights on, and everyone who's involved in anything, they're involved in it with love and light, it's always going to work out for the best. It's everything in our world is working out for the best. And the reason is because just as our bodies are a living biological machine, like our individual bodies are like cells within the body of humanity. And the body, just as our bodies individually want to come to stasis, it naturally heals itself. If we get hurt, it heals itself. The system self-corrects itself. And collectively, humanity self-corrects itself. And right now, we're in a self-correction mode. And we've just gone through this massive transition. And you can study this through astrology. You can study this through the scriptures. You can study this through mysticism, through the occult, through science, through metaphysics. The fact of the matter is, 5D New Humans, our lights are on. We resonate with the 5D New Human frequency of love and light. it's a frequency. Just like we can resonate with football. We can resonate with football. We can see it all. We can feel it all. We can resonate with it all. And we can talk about it, right? But when we get down into the nitty-gritty and get into an argument about whether or not the wide receiver ran the correct route or not, right? That gets into the nitty-gritty aspects of football. And we could still get into our little tit-for-tat discussions on that, because that kind of adds a little juice and a little enthusiasm and a little experience in discussing. But we're not arguing it. We're exploring it. So we talk about it. So if you played football and you were a wide receiver and you know what you're supposed to do, and oftentimes you realize that you can see a play on the field. You can see a play on the field, and if you're connected with the frequency of your quarterback, he's seeing the field. And if you see a wide open opportunity, you may actually determine a change in your route to go to the open part of the field. And the fact of the matter is, your quarterback is resonating with you. He makes that pass to you. You score a touchdown, and you're glorious. The frequency that made that wide receiver rerun a different route, right, was something he saw on the field. In real time, he adapted. He's in resonance with the quarterback. The quarterback adapts and meets him on his pass play. If it works, bingo, they're heroes. If it doesn't work, there's all kinds of chaos, because they violated the rule of football, which is you're running long left, and you averted that pattern, and you ended up going to the right. Those are the battles that we have in our world. Like, they're not relevant. They really have no relevance at all in our life. The only relevance that has is obviously the guy who made the play and who made the catch. Maybe they're heroes. Maybe they're the villains because they failed on that. But if they failed on it, everybody gets to talk about it. The whole next day they can talk about it. And my goodness, if it was a big game and it lost in the game, they could talk about that for the next season. Do you understand that in the reality matrix that we live in, when our lights are on and we're just football fans, we can see it all. And we don't argue to the point where we're gonna create an enemy of our friend because we have a different interpretation of events on the fields, or because we resonate with a different aspect of the game. As a mom of a child who was hurt playing football may feel negatively about football in general. I'm talking about 5D new human perception. You understand this? I'm talking about frequencies. And kind of the 5D new human frequency, this is subtle to those of us who are tapping into these frequencies. We begin to recognize that the same patterns that happen within the understanding the NFL football league also happens in understanding the politics in America, or understanding the politics in Canada, or understanding the politics of the Western Hemisphere, or understanding the politics in Europe, or understanding the politics in the Ukraine-Russia war, or what's happening in China, and the Indian trade deals, and who's buying oil from whom, right? All of these things are happening all the time. And the fact that we see it happening and we talk about what's happening on the field doesn't make us political. It doesn't make us enemies. We're just like we're watching football, we can see what's happening on the field. So the 5D new human frequency is starting to recognize the patterns that we know as truth. And I say this truth: we breathe in, we know we're alive, we know that we're humans, we connect to our source, which is God, right? I am this source. I and the Father are one, right? This frequency of love and light, this pulsing that goes through me is life itself. And that is a collective frequency. That's the God frequency. And when I'm vibrating in this frequency, I tend to vibrate with everything. I don't upset anything around me. And if I sense something around me, if I'm bringing in a frequency and I can tell it's too much light for someone to look at, that I'm putting too much light on a potential person's shadows, I just turn away from it. I move away from it. And I can determine that because I feel the frequency. In the 5D New Human, we're realizing that frequency, that negative frequency, I've been talking about it for a lot. Go back and watch some of the older podcasts so that you can come and be introduced to this 5D New Human perception as it has evolved, because it's evolving right now. And I've been involved in this, 18 months, 20 months in learning this and coming to this new understanding. But we reach a point of realizing that I used to think that was a problem and I had to run away from the problem. No, the problem is my light. My light is so intense that my light creates a negative, that my light gets a reaction from the external world around me, because what I'm bringing with my light is creating dissonance. It's creating shadows and those moving over there. And this is the way it is with football, right? So if you're sitting with a bunch of guys watching football and some mom comes in to 5 guys who are drinking beer and eating pizza, watching the football game, and they're going to say, by the way, guys, I want you to sign a petition for me that we're going to stop football. That's not going to get a positive response, right? And there's no evil in any of this, right? It's just awareness. It's awareness and knowing the frequencies. So when we come to 5D and we're just vibing in 5D, we're frequency coherent. We're watching the frequencies around us and we resonate with the frequencies around us. We find where we can best resonate with others, and we find peace in our reality. And the 5D aha moment, if there's an aha moment, is there's no aha moment. The 5D frequencies is that you come to this place of this balance. It's coherent. It's a spiritual countenance of peace. I call it Christ consciousness. You kind of come to this love and light frequency and you just feel full. You feel satisfied. And when you really come to feel full and feel satisfied, you don't need your next fix, whether it's a drug or if it's eating or it's drinking or it's sex or whatever your thing is, right? You're not living for the next experience. You're living in the love and light experience all the time. So when those love experiences come in, they're magnified by 10. When we're eating, not because we're feeding an addiction, but because we're hungry and because we're out working and because we're focusing. And when we sit down to have a meal and we eat consciously, that meal tastes 10 times better. 5D New Humans, we're just settling in. We're settling into the peace. And we're putting our lights on. And our lights are based on truth. Our lights are based on coherence, and we all know what this is because we're all connected to this God source, because this God source flows through us, and we're looking at the world externally through our love and light, and everything magically works. And right now we're in the golden age, and it's fixing right now in front of your eyes. So whatever you're afraid of, whatever it is that you're worried about, just rise above it. Let go of those worries. Let go of those frequencies. Let go of feeling uncomfortable about something. Let go of trying to fix the world, because come to 5D, the world is already fixed. There's nothing to fix. Like, the world is already working the best it can. So the minute that we let go of trying to control the world, the minute that we just allow the world to be, and we vibrate within the world, and we experience the world as we experience it through this love and light frequency. As we're experiencing the world in our love and light frequency, right, we can move to where we particularly love the experience. And that may be we want to be a football player. And that may be we want to protest against football. We want to have football stopped because we're concerned that it's affecting our kids. There's not a right path. There's not a wrong path, right? There's just dimensions of our reality, and we get to interact with them. So find where we interact. And one of the things that 5D New Humans are doing now is we're not grabbing the frequencies of others. This is what's happening right now in Minnesota with all that. I did a podcast episode on that specifically about, what's happening there in Minnesota, a 5D New Human perspective on that. But when we go down and take a side, we're resonating in one frequency against another. Well, if you do that, that's what keeps the fighting going. 5D New Humans, boom, we're letting go of it. We zoom out. We just zoom out of it and we watch it. We can watch it. We can feel the frequencies and we can sense all the people around us suffering, and we can see the suffering and we can see the abuse and we can see it all unfolding. But we don't go down and fix it because it's not us to fix. The way we fix it is we just shine our light on it and let those who are in it will fix it themselves. Because how do you know if you're in a good frequency? You feel it in here. So you feel the frequency of love and kindness and patience and goodness and coherence and cooperation. Feeling the frequencies in those words, right? Are you living in those frequencies? Like, what are the frequencies of your day? Look at your social media posts. You can just look at somebody's social media posts and you can see what type of person they are, whether they're in love and light or if they're in constant bitter battle. But if the words in your vocabulary are protest and vengeance and retribution and accountability or authoritarian accountability, we're going to go in and we're going to take them out, we're going to take them down. The frequencies of vengeance and the frequencies of anger and the frequencies of frustration and the frequencies are all there. And they're legitimate, by the way, for those who are truly suffering because of what's on the ground. But what's happening to one individual or one group of individuals is not reality. It's their reality, but it's not the full picture. So boom, we shine our light on the full picture. We shine our light on the full picture and we just shine the light on wherever there is mayhem, wherever there is disconnection, wherever there is ignorance or violence or criminal activity or suffering, we shine our lights on it. Boom, that's what the 5D New Humans do. We are embodying this love and light. We are living from this frequency. That frequency, that 5D frequency is on fire right now. But to the 5D New Humans, it's just peace. It's coherence. It's stability. We're no longer freaking out. We're no longer worried about it. We wanted to fix the world. We wanted to have all of these plans to do that. It's going to happen, and it's happening right now, because as we vibe in our 5D love and light frequency and we put our lights on, every single problem will be solved, and it will be solved by source. And who is the source? Well, my source and my contribution to this new frequency is to have this 5D New Human channel where I talk about being a 5D New Human. And I share these frequencies out as just one 5D New Human voice. And by the way, there are so many amazing, amazing voices out there who each bring their own perspective. Like they each bring their own little... You think about a diamond and how diamonds have all of these different things so it can shine, and that's what makes it so sparkling. And it's like each 5D New Human has their own unique perspective, and boom, they open up this whole other dimension of thought and experience. And there's ones over here and there's ones up there. And as we all come to 5D love and light, our problems are just going to melt. And this is happening right now. So when you see the problems around you, when you see things coming out, don't be afraid of them. Vibe in realizing that's the change. That's the change. That's the fix. And when you see a great news article by someone who presents information that's not toxic, but they just provide information, pound 5D New Human Perception. Thank you for sharing. Let's start mirror looping coherent frequencies. Let's start mirror looping coherent actions and coherent activities, because the coherence is a frequency. It's it's the frequency that we resonate with. It's the frequency that we live in. And just as we all can resonate with football, let's all resonate with love and light. Let's just find our place within the game of life, and we resonate where we belong. And when we're resonating in love and light, we are the most qualified on that topic. So if you want to talk about 5D new human, I feel that is my coherent path. Like I'm resonating in being a 5D new human. I wrote a book. Well, Dr. James Moss and I wrote a book, and he recently passed. Are you at 5D yet? You're invited. The 5D heart vibrational frequency that's changing our earth. You can get it on Amazon. There's probably a link on this video if you look down. If not, look on some of my previous episodes. You can get a free copy if you go to my Substack, Seeker Explorer. Sign up. You don't have to sponsor it. I mean, if you want to send me money, that's great. But it's free. Just, go online. Follow me so you can at least hear some of the stuff that I post. And in there, you'll get a free copy of that book. You'll get a PDF link to it. If anyone here is listening as a 5D new human and you've got a fire in your belly and you want to be a part of this, that's a frequency. That's a frequency calling. That's a frequency, resonant frequency. Maybe you belong here talking with me. Maybe it's time you put your voice out there. Maybe you have a book that you want to write. You have a video series that you want to do. You have music that you're writing. Right? You have programs that you want to do in teaching. Whatever your 5D frequency is, bring that along. I'm so grateful that you're here. I love you so much, and I'm so appreciative that you're giving your attention to this 5D new human. I'm talking to you as a fellow 5D new human. Know that you are loved, and I am grateful that you are here, and I will see you on our next episode, The Spiritual Quest. Peace.